Latinos for Trump, that's what I want. I love that. Latinos! We're doing well with the Latinos. Nobody knows about it yet. We're bringing so many jobs in. You watch what happens. The Hispanics, we love the Hispanics. Thank you, everybody. So I said to my people, what the hell are you doing? Who's going to come tonight? You have San Francisco playing the game tonight. And look at this crowd. This is unbelievable. We'll speak a little bit faster tonight so you go home to the game, okay? No. Let's take our time. Anyway. Well, thank you all very much. It's been an amazing period of time. You know, you had the 1237, right? 1,237 delegates, and I promised everybody, I told everybody we were going to hit that number, and now we're going to hit a number that's way, way above. Way above. Remember they all said, oh, you have the convention, and the convention's going to be a big deal, and I said, we're not going to the convention for that. We're going to the convention as victors before the convention ever starts. So we're going to have a great time in Ohio. We're going to have a great time in Cleveland, Ohio. And I really appreciate this turnout. This is fantastic. I really do. So on Tuesday, we got a big vote coming up. I mean, honestly, we already won. But in terms of mandate, in terms of going out there and really getting it, I hope you can go out, vote. And you know, we have a few states, right? It's the end. It's the end. Now, here's what's important. In the history of the Republican Party, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Ronald Reagan, everybody. In history, we have the most votes ever cast for a Republican candidate. Never happened before. And by millions of votes. And the amazing thing about that is, I think we do even better in November because we're going to take a lot of people from the Democrats. You know, Bernie Sanders, the system was rigged on him. I think we're going to get a lot of people from Bernie. We'll see what happens. I mean, I watched Hillary today. It was pathetic. It was so sad to watch. And, you know, she's up there and supposed to be a foreign policy speech. It was a political speech. Had nothing to do with foreign policy. She made a political speech tonight, folks, and it was a pretty pathetic deal. But listen, on Tuesday, so we have California, we have Montana, we have New Jersey, we have New Mexico, we have South Dakota. So we have those states, and that's the end. And at the end of the night, we will be many, many, many millions of votes ahead of the highest vote getter in history of that Kansas. Now, you're a hell of a crowd. You don't like basketball very much. You are a great crowd. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you, folks. I'm telling you. So, we are in a movement. They've never seen anything like it. Some people, many people, even people that hate me, the pundits, who are totally dishonest, by the way, but that's okay. Some of these pundits have even said, almost all of them, that there's never been anything like this that's ever happened in the United States. Never been. Amazing. Yesterday, we had an amazing crowd. We had these airport hangars packed with people. And a friend of mine said, I loved your speech yesterday. You know, it's on all the networks. It's all over the place. He said, were there any people there? I said, yeah, it could have been like 20,000 people. I couldn't tell. They never show the people. They never, ever show it. But who cares? Do we agree? Who cares? People are getting it. People are getting the idea. People are getting the idea. So what we have to do is this. We have a movement going on. We're on the cover of every newspaper, every magazine, Time magazine, many times. I just learned they're doing yet another cover on Trump. I love that. You know, Time magazine's a good magazine. You grow up reading Time Magazine. Whoever thought you'd be on the cover of Time Magazine? Especially so much. And it's all about the movement. It's all about the fact that we're taking back our country. And by the way, we're going to be very inclusive to everybody. We're going to be very inclusive to everybody. I know we have a lot of people, they're angry at what's happened. We have a lot of smart people that are making less money now than they did 18 years ago, and they're working twice as hard, okay? We are going to bring our jobs back, folks. We're going to bring back sanity to our country. We're going to bring those jobs back. And we're not going to let the jobs go so easy. You know, I talk all the time about Ford and Carrier and Nabisco, where they leave and they move their plants to Mexico and other places. And there's no consequence. There's going to be a big consequence. Let me give you an example, okay? It's so easy. For 6 years, I've been watching politicians saying, we have to stop the onslaught of people leaving, of companies leaving our country. I've been watching this in amazement. I never thought I was going to be doing this. Have I done a good job?
Yeah!
You know, it was funny, before I get there. So I've been doing this now for 10 months. And they had an article, one of the magazines, said it was 10 months versus 200 and some odd 100 years of experience. Because we ran against 17 people, and if you add up all of their tenure, it's 200 and something years. So for 10 months, with no experience, we are doing well, folks, I'll tell you. But don't let the no experience fool you. I've been on the other side of the equation. I hate to tell you this, I was very much a part of the establishment. I was a big donor, and I was on the other side. But I know the system better than anybody else because I know how it works on both sides. I've been there so long. I know so much about lobbyists and special interests or whatever the hell you want. And with me, you're getting me. I'm representing just you. Just you. So, in the primaries, I spent $55 million of my money. And in fact, somebody said, I guess for legal purposes, they put it down as a loan, where I loaned myself $55 million. I will say to you tonight, I've been saying it all the time, I'm going to determine, I don't even want it as a loan. I don't even know why. When somebody does it, they always put it down as a loan. I'm not paying myself back. We're wiping out that loan. I'm in for $55 million. I turned down, and it always was intended to be that way. Sometimes the lawyers do things, you say, why are you doing that? They almost can't explain it. But it seems that many people do that. But we're terminating that. Millions and millions of dollars was offered to me, and I said, no, I'm not interested in it. Now what we're doing is we're working with the Republican National Committee. They have treated me fairly, by the way, or I guess I wouldn't be here. Yeah, I think I would have been no matter what, because frankly, we won by such landslides that no matter what they wanted to do, right? We won so big, no matter what they wanted to do. You know, I tell the story all the time about the prize fighters. They go out and they fight in somebody's home territory. And I know so many of the prize fighters. I have a lot of prize fights. I've always liked it. I've held many, more Mike Tyson fights than anybody else. But I've had a lot of fights. And I'll say, why are you going to that community? A lot of money there, Mr. Trump, a lot of money. But if you come to a judge's call, they're going to rule against you if it's a close fight. Not even if it's a close fight. They're going to rule against you, period. They said, there's only one way to solve that, Mr. Trump. I got to knock him out. And that's what we did. That's what we did. Because it's a rigged system. It wasn't meant for me to win. The system isn't set up like that. But we won in New Hampshire so big. I love New Hampshire. We're going to solve, they have a tremendous drug problem, heroin, in New Hampshire. We're going to solve that problem. We are going to solve the problem that's coming in from the southern border. We want to solve the drugs that are pouring in to our country. We're going to solve it, okay? We're going to solve it. But
it's not the weed.
We won New Hampshire.